Hey guys, Mr. Abyss here with Life as a Shonen. If you're enjoying the content on our channel, go ahead and like our video and subscribe to our channel. And if you want to go ahead and get updates whenever we put out a new video, go ahead and click that little bell down there as well. Enjoy.
All right, checking.
We checked?
Good.
Checking.
All right. Hey guys, it's Mr. Abyss,
Oh, Lady Unicorn.
And Albert 3G.
and we are here to bring you this week's episode of High Tea. This would be episode 3, and I think we're going to go ahead and cover more in depth the Myers-Briggs and exactly what that is.
Mm-hmm. Well, I know that Jeremy was mentioning a lot of the
Mr.
listeners
Abyss.
was. Right. Mr. Abyss was mentioning a lot of the listeners may not be aware of what exactly Myers-Briggs is.
Yeah, we
or
kinda went
even what
off
their
on-
type is.
On our letters, we didn't even really explain what the letters mean.
Also, we can tell you our personality types right now, Mr. Abyss.
I'm an ENFP.
I am an ENFP.
I'm an INTJ.
Boo. He's different.
I'm the
He's in
death one.
the small percentile.
Now, why don't we go ahead and break down exactly what these letters that we're talking about even represent?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
So you start off with the E and the I, which is the first selection, extroversion versus introversion. Then the second letter is the S and the N, which is intuition versus sensing. Then you have the third one, which is T versus F, which is thinking and feeling. Then the last one is the J versus the P, which is judging versus perceptive
Perceiving.
or perceiving.
Putting note, and are they in a order? No.
Yeah.
I'm still thinking of in order of like how much it influences your thing, or am I still thinking?
It's more about like it's just different parts of who you are.
Okay,
It's
all right.
different columns,
Mhm.
Okay.
basically.
I mean, it's always going to be either E or I, the first letter.
Yeah,
N or S.
I'm
the
just
second
confusing
letter.
too much. What is that thing?
Auxiliary functions.
I'm confusing that too much with the actual.
Correct. Because what you're talking about is really getting into the nitty gritty.
Yeah.
Thinking about how every function works with the other.
And they're aligned, like how much you use it. Yeah, I'm
Exactly.
going too far into it.
Yeah. Because, extroversion, and then you have a T, you have an E,
Yeah.
and a T, then those are going to work in a certain way.
Yeah. So
But
that,
yeah,
that,
is
that thing
going
is
a
truly
little too
breaking
in-depth.
down like
Uh-huh.
what you are.
Exactly.
Okay.
So,
If you do want to go more in depth, what's it called?
auxiliary functions.
Auxiliary functions. If
Yeah.
you know about it already, you want to look further and you haven't heard of this, it's the auxiliary functions. It opens up a whole new book of worms.
True. So we're going to start off with E versus I, and it says favorite world. Do you prefer to focus on the outer world or on your own inner world? That's the difference between extroversion and introversion.
But see, I would already argue that I'm out. I'm not an extrovert. I live in my inner world.
Mm-hmm. Again,
Okay,
then that goes
ENFPs
into
are
the percentages,
Okay.
which I know we talked about
Yeah.
earlier. But I guess we'll talk a little bit about that. So mind you, with every single one of these letters, you're not 100% one or the other. You're always going to be a mixture of both, a certain percentage of one. So, for example, my extroversion and introversion are about 70-30. I'm 70 introvert, 30% extrovert. So you're not always going to be, 100% like quiet or 100% like
Yeah.
outspoken. It's always a little bit, maybe certain situations,
Yeah.
depending on how you'll
I
react
don't
to
even
them.
remember what I was. Ew.
That's why I kind of retook it recently. I actually
Yeah.
retook the test recently because it's not that I feel like I'm something else or I'm trying to prove I'm something else. It's just like kind of making sure that everything is still, because I'm like, am I changing? Am I a different person? Like, who am I still? Who am I?
To make sure, like,
Yeah.
your core that you thought was truly your core.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Did it change?
No, I actually became more introverted and more
Really?
intuitive.
Yeah.
You still got the same
Yeah.
letters?
Still same letters.
Okay.
And I'm becoming more of the, what was it, babe?
You're
Turbulent
getting
versus
Batman crazy.
like the A and the T.
Yeah, you're becoming more of a A.
I was a T.
Yeah.
I know that.
Yeah.
I'm
I
a
know
T. Well, actually, I'm an A/T, negative T. So I don't know what that means.
What?
Yeah, I'm like a
I'm like,
I don't even
what?
know.
mush smorgasbord of ENFP. I'm 80% extrovert and 20% introvert. So but that's strange for me because like I am an extrovert. I really like to be around people and stuff, but I really like not to be around
Really like
people and stuff.
There's sometimes just
Whoa.
like, get out of here.
It's not necessarily groups of people,
Yeah.
But you enjoy being with a particular person.
Yes.
But isn't that
you know?
I like
anyone?
having you around
I
at
like
all
being around people I like.
times.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, like, all times.
So that's what you're looking at in terms of extroversion versus introversion. It isn't always,
Yeah.
oh, I'm always gonna be like around the
My fault. My
party
fault was
kind of-
assuming like this was just an across the board thing. You're an extrovert. That's just
No.
what you do now.
That's
No, that
No,
doesn't
no, no,
dictate
no.
it.
That's why I
Yeah.
always bring up astrology, because like I'm not just a Pisces. Like it pisses me off that like I can even be considered just a Pisces, because I'm not like that. But then you bring in the natal charts, and then it's all like this extra information on what type of Pisces you are, and then also
Yeah.
I'm an ENFP Pisces, so that makes a really big
Well,
difference, you
that-
know.
Yeah.
So it's not just across the board, 'cause it's
Yeah.
way too vague to say everyone can be like this if they're this personality type.
Yeah.
And there's only 16,
Mm,
so that would
It's
suck.
putting like everybody in too small of a box.
correct. And then you have like information, which would determine
Is the
S
second
or
letter?
N. Yeah, this is the second letter. Sorry. Do you prefer to focus on the basic information you take in, or do you prefer to interpret and then add meaning?
Oh, that one's easy.
Oh, add
Yeah, right.
meaning.
Yeah.
exactly.
Add meaning, of course.
Add meaning. We're all intuitive.
other way is like,
though,
get outta here.
So this was intuitive versus sensing, and we're
Correct.
all ends, and we all want to add meaning to life.
Mhm.
Man, that's cool. I like that. See, I like this shit. This is great.
Yeah.
So then the next letter, the third letter, would be between T or F, which is thinking or feeling, decisions.
I blurred the line here, I believe.
Well,
Mhm.
let's see.
But I know I lean heavier towards feeling.
True, true.
Me too.
When making decisions, do you prefer to first look at logic and consistency, or first look at the people and the special circumstances?
Okay.
Logic.
First hand
Nah.
basis, like straight
I'll go
off
through
the
the second
cuff.
part. Very first, it has to be like, what is it without even
Okay.
shit?
This is what being ENFPs like, though. Our first instinct is like we are incredibly logical people. I don't care what anybody says. Like we are hardcore logical, and a little bit too much at times. But once we realize the situation, our feeling completely takes over.
Yes.
And it's just
Feeling
like,
can be
no,
added
my
in
God,
and
person,
wreck everything,
human
yes.
to deal with. Like, oh no, like
The first thing that's entered is, though, like, it has to be logically.
yeah, you're just like this is black and white. It's
But
that
once
simple.
you figure it out logically, then you got to figure out how you feel about that.
Yep.
No.
And
see,
then it
me,
gets
it's just logic.
gray, real gray.
No, I'm kidding. But again, you know,
Yeah.
it goes down to the percentage. You're not going to be all thinking. You're not going to be all
Yeah.
feeling. So it really depends.
And different
on,
situations
like-
dictate how you know, it's
Yeah.
still got to be that.
Exactly.
Nothing's concrete.
And so
That's
you
why I
have,
like it.
Mm-hmm. Then you have the fourth letter, which is judging versus perceiving, J or P, and that determines structure. In dealing with the outside world, do you prefer to get things decided, or do you prefer to stay open to new information and options?
Open as shit.
I have become more decided as I have had to.
I've had to
But
decide out of necessity.
if I didn't have to, I'd be open to the flow. Like I'd be such a
Oh,
free
yes.
little spirit, like
Everyone, you know, as long as you're not hurting anybody.
a unicorn,
whatever you
unicorn.
want.
Yeah, I'm a very J. That's
Very
not even that's not even a question. I'm not going with any flow, like
No.
unless it's my flow
Nope.
that I've already decided upon.
I tried to embrace the flow one time. We got lost.
It's a bad thing about the flow. The river just runs.
And I was in heels, so
Yeah.
it didn't work.
There's a first date downtown, and
That's bad.
I had parked like in some random spot. And
way out
I was
there.
wearing brand new
Okay.
like high heel boots. I didn't know. Like,
Didn't work out well.
I didn't know. But we had fun. It's become a good story.
But whenever you've decided, not decided, I guess figured out which one.
Yeah, once you've taken the test.
Yeah, take the test. Go to 16personalities.com.
Doesn't take that long.
Even with a
16
lot of thought in it,
personalities.
it's just 12 minutes.
Yeah, you're
Like,
gonna have
it's-
fun doing it. I hate taking tests. I hate it, but it's,
It's
fun.
fun.
Just don't answer anything in the direct middle unless like that's all there is.
I
Some
actually
of 'em
answer
I
a
did.
lot pretty in
direct
the direct
middle?
middle.
Me
Yeah.
too.
Stay away from the direct middle.
Only 'cause like literally on some of the things I was like, I'm literally
got to.
right in between
Yeah.
here. Like
Mhm.
there's no chance for anything else.
Mine are like, oh, I'm still working on this about
Yeah.
myself. So, I'm not
See, I
exactly
think
here
that's, like,
anymore. But
Cheating almost, like, even though I don't because it's truly who you are. You're an INTJ,
Mhm.
so you do that. for me, I was like, this has to be exactly how I am right now. So if I retake the test, it's probably gonna be different.
Well, technically, that is how I am right now.
Yeah,
because
it's
I'm
true,
very
though.
50-50.
Like, I'm
depending
working
like,
on
if
stuff.
I think about it logically enough for me to realize, I'm doing it or I'm in that situation. So,
That's interesting.
which I think attributed to the higher scores in the INTJ sections. Because before I wasn't 100%.
Right.
Like, I was actually choosing more agree and disagree, even if it was just one, or the second one.
What would you have done if you took the test and it was completely different?
I probably would have understood.
I probably would be like,
Was the first answer ever right?
Well, yeah, because
You can just change that hard. So there's no thing there.
Well, remember I told you the first time I ever took the test, I got an INTP.
Yeah. But like only one letter was different.
Only one letter was different, true.
Yeah, but
I'm afraid
how
to
well
take
did
this.
you really know yourself at that time?
I guess not really well.
I think
You know?
that's the main thing. Because you can always be developing and advancing, but there's a core self to who you are no matter what. And you got to know what that is. And, like, if you really take this test and you're like, you let yourself really take the time to go, that's actually who I am, you're going to realize who that core self is. And that's just going to be who it is no matter what. Because my stepdad, for instance, took it years ago, and he wouldn't tell us what his score was.
Yes, there
And
are some of those.
He's an ISTJ. Like, that is actually who he is. I've identified him. And I'm 100% correct. We've done all the tests to see. But he got it again as an ENTJ. And that's not, he's not an extrovert. He's not intuitive. But his job has trained him to be. So it's made a big difference. He's become more of a entrepreneur, kind of, but not really. He's more of a database investigator sort of personality. So you got to know who you really are. That's what comes down
I'm
to.
scared. I'm so into like the ENFP. All my favorite characters are ENFPs, and
Me
I'm like,
too.
them. But like, what if I'm not? My reality's broken now.
Okay, that's a very
I want to be
interesting
Luffy.
thing to bring up.
I'm Luffy.
That's very interesting because when I was an INTP, I guess I was an INTP now. Whenever I had tested as that, I would look up the people who were diagnosed. Or no, what's the word I'm looking? Typed.
Yeah.
Diagnosed.
Diagnosed. Who were
This is what you
typed
are.
as an INTP.
Forever.
And I was like, okay, I can kind of relate to these people, but not really.
Yeah.
And for some reason, and I know it sounds stupid, I wanted to be an INTJ so bad. Like, so bad. Because I went
wanted
and
to
read
be
the
an
personality,
ENFP.
and I was like, man, this is so cool. Who wouldn't want to be this person? Of course, I'm like egotistical.
It means you
about
love
it.
yourself.
Right?
That's all that counts.
I was just like, wow, this personality sounds really fun.
Yeah.
I was like, but I'm an INTP. This sucks. But I felt like I
This sucks.
associated more.
If you're
We're
an
gonna be all these
INTP, it
shitty
doesn't
people.
suck. You
Oh,
like
no, it
you.
doesn't. It's just maybe that's how internally I knew
It's
that
because
I was
you're
always an
intuitive.
INTJ.
Like, I
know.
think, because, like, I knew if I got anything that wasn't ENFP, I was going to be so upset.
So disappointed.
Because I knew that's who I was.
Yes, that's my fear, I guess. Is like I find out I'm not who I am.
I mean, honestly, what would happen to me is, like, if it changed, I'd be like, it's wrong.
Yes.
Well,
Yes,
like, I was like, I
100%.
must have done something wrong when I tested. Because, like, I'm an ENFP. I know I am.
I have an interesting question for y'all based off that then.
Mhm.
Who is the celebrity that you have identified that pleases you the most? That is your
Oh.
type.
Ellen
Okay.
DeGeneres.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Yes.
I'm going Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt.
He's an
that's nice.
ENFP?
Chris Pratt's an
Yeah.
ENFP.
Oh, my
He's
God.
like prime ENFP. That's him.
The
That's
only reason
done.
I love Ellen being an ENFP is because, like, her starter comedies where she did stand-up, so
Ellen's
real.
great. Ellen's
They're
good.
so real that it was just so wonderful, and her perspective was so
That's an
wonderful.
ENFP like fuck
Yeah.
that bullshit.
Yeah, it's like it's so real, and it's just funny. You know, like reality really is funny if you give it the right look. You
Yeah.
know, and I love that. I love finding out that she was an ENFP. It's like that's great.
Mark Twain's an ENFP.
I
Mark
know.
Twain.
Love
He's
it.
so good. Okay,
Uh,
if anybody reads Mortal Instruments or understands what shadow hunters are, Magnus Bane is an ENFP. Go take the test. Like, you'll understand.
Magnus Bane.
He's the best character
All right,
ever.
Make a drink. I'll be right back.
I'd say probably my two favorite that I typed with were one, Christopher Nolan, because he's a great director.
Yeah.
Batman trilogy, that was amazing.
I said,
the
yeah,
Dark
like I
Knight
know.
trilogy,
I
is what
didn't
say.
know who Christopher Nolan was.
Then Memento, which is a very great movie.
Mementos.
Yeah, not Mementos, but
Oh.
Memento. That's actually a very well written script. It's an
Okay.
intelligent script.
Who else?
Then the other one, which I really, really enjoyed, is Elon Musk.
Oh
because
my
obviously
God,
you know that
yeah.
I'm like a huge
How could you
fan of
not?
Tesla. Yeah. So those, I guess, would be the two coolest
I'm
ones.
gonna go look
that
it
I was
up
like,
now.
Okay, very, very nice.
Who else is?
Because you know I talk
ENFP?
about Elon Musk all the time. I was
Yeah,
talking
he
about what he's
does.
doing.
He loves Elon. We want a Tesla real bad.
Pull up a list. Yeah, okay. I have.
ENFP.
They have some fictional characters that they've typed out too. J.J.
Yeah,
Abrams?
we do. Yeah, we do. Oh yes. Robin Williams, ENFP.
Oh yeah, this is true.
Sandra Bullock. Bob Dylan, for crying out loud.
Hell yeah. I'll take it.
So,
Charles
like, real
Dickens.
characters? Charles Dickens.
Yeah.
Please me with writers. Confirm
right?
something, I hope.
I'll stop talking for a minute so you can name some of yours.
Yeah. What are yours?
No, wait. Do you guys have mostly like real characters? Because like what's really funny is like the people listed on mine. There's a few
Oh,
real
we
ones
got
and most
Robert
of them are
Downey
fictional.
Jr. Iron Man. Tony Stark is an
So
ENFP.
glad. Good. All shonen main characters, they're all ENFPs.
Oh my gosh.
So if you like anime, yeah. We're Naruto, we're Luffy, we're Ichigo, we're all of them.
Okay, so I just looked up famous people who are ENFPs, but you're looking up characters.
Well, I'm not looking up characters.
Both are
this
cool.
is off of the 16
The
personalities.
16 personalities. Okay,
Yeah,
hang on, I'll look
it seems
at
like you
Give me
guys
one
have
second.
more realistic characters. This one has about.
Let's
We
half.
got Will Smith too.
Yeah, we do.
Nice. Walter White, Heisenberg.
What? Russell Brand.
You know who else is an ENFP?
Huh.
What's the guy's name who
Quentin
created
Tarantino?
Facebook?
What? Oh,
Or
Mark
not
Zuckerberg.
ENFP, I'm sorry, INTJ.
Zuckerberg.
Oh, Zuckerberg.
Zuckerberg, yeah.
He looks crazy. Arnold Schwarzenegger, apparently.
I am. He's an INTJ.
Vladimir Putin. Yeah.
That's weird.
Michelle
Well,
Obama.
he's got-
Oh,
I mean,
Barack
he's in
was
politics
an
now. It's not too
ENFP.
weird.
Barack
If anyone,
was an
oh, we were
ENFP.
Michael Scott too. Michael Scott's an ENFP.
Wait, I know you're gonna hate me for this.
The Office.
Okay.
That's the only one I know on there.
It's
as well.
the character.
Yes.
Okay, I was like thrown off.
Whoever
that would
Phil,
be an
Phil
ENFP.
Dunphy in Modern Family.
Yes, that made me
Oh,
so
no, that
happy.
makes sense. That makes sense.
We're PETA.
Yeah. I
I
mean,
you don't have
Katniss
cool, like-
Everdeen, apparently.
You have good ones.
Not really.
You got Batman first of all.
I mean, yeah, well, Batman.
that's all you need.
That's all you really do need. You're all right.
I have
After
Carrie
that, what's the
Bradshaw from
point?
Sex
Quentin
and the City.
Tarantino
That's pretty
is an
good one. That's a pretty good
ENFP.
one. I'm
Like,
pleased with that.
okay.
Our real guys, Willy Wonka. Done. Okay.
Hells
Amen.
yes.
Willy Wonka.
Of course. Of
Jeez.
course.
But yeah, I mean, with all of these personalities, you get a better sense of who you are and what you can accomplish.
You can look at these characters and like, what part of them matched me? Because there is a little significant part of them that should mirror you in a way.
And maybe that could be the first telling of what kind of personality you are. Figure out the people or the
Yeah.
characters that you mostly relate
Yeah, research
to.
them. Go ahead and look.
and be
Go
like,
look
oh,
up. If
what
you
type
think
of
you're an ENFP,
personality?
look up Willy Wonka.
Okay,
Mhm.
like if you take the test and you realize you hate everything it has to say, well, if you hate yourself to begin with, okay, it might be right. But if you don't hate yourself, in fact, you actually
Damn,
appreciate
Daniel.
yourself at times, you're going to realize you took the test wrong. You
Yeah.
can retake it. That's what's going on.